In recent summers, parts of France, Spain, and Italy watched their thermometers push past 45 degrees Celsius. The heat was so suffocating that hospitals quickly filled with patients suffering from dehydration and heat stroke, while thousands of residents crowded into the fountains beneath the Eiffel Tower just to cool off. That intense, baking heat was accompanied by relentless dry winds. Together, they turned millions of hectares of European forests into tinderboxes, sparking massive, uncontrollable wildfires that forced entire communities to flee their homes. But if you looked at Central and Eastern Europe on those exact same days, you would see a completely opposite disaster. The region was being battered by century-level rainstorms. In countries like Germany and Belgium, an entire month's worth of rain fell from the sky in just 24 hours. The resulting torrents swept away cars, crushed buildings, and caused billions of euros in destruction. This massive rain system eventually moved outward, climaxing in Libya, where the sheer volume of water caused entire dams to fail, washing whole city blocks directly into the sea. Fire in the west and water in the east, happening at the exact same time, is not a coincidence. Both extremes are the direct result of a single, massive atmospheric traffic jam. High above the Earth, there is a fast-moving river of wind called the jet stream. You can think of it as a conveyor belt that constantly pushes weather systems from west to east. This map of the Northern Hemisphere shows how the jet stream operates under normal conditions. It keeps everything moving. A rainstorm or a heat wave rolls into a region, does its thing, and then the wind pushes it away. The weather clears out. But sometimes these winds stop flowing forward. Instead, they buckle violently upwards and downwards, freezing into a rigid, massive loop that looks exactly like the Greek letter omega. When this happens, a massive high-pressure system gets swallowed and locked dead center inside the top of the loop. Down on the ground, this high-pressure trap creates a heat dome. The sky clears, the wind dies completely, and hot air is forced down to the surface, baking the earth below. Because the air is completely stagnant, any smoke or industrial pollution gets trapped right where it is, blanketing the area in a suffocating smog and ruining air quality. Meanwhile, on the outside edges of the Omega Block, the exact opposite is happening. Low-pressure systems become permanently lodged on both flanks. Because the entire structure is completely blocked from moving forward, these trapped low-pressure systems dump continuous rain over the exact same locations for days or even weeks on end. The Omega Block acts as an invisible, impenetrable wall in the sky. It forces opposing weather extremes to lock into place, turning what should be a passing storm or a brief hot spell into a prolonged disaster. When a weather system stalls for weeks, the damage extends well beyond uncomfortable temperatures. The prolonged stagnation actively paralyzes essential human infrastructure. During these prolonged droughts, critical European waterways like the Rhine, the Danube, and the Po rivers evaporate to historically low levels. Without deep water, major shipping routes are entirely cut off. Cargo ships cannot move, which halts the transport of goods and costs European trade and industry billions of dollars. This quickly cascades into an energy crisis. Hydroelectric power plants are forced to shut down because there simply isn't enough flowing river water to spin the turbines. Even nuclear power plants become completely vulnerable. Without an adequate supply of river water to cool their reactors, these massive facilities have to reduce their output or shut down completely. Out in the countryside, the agricultural sector faces total devastation as unyielding heat and a lack of rain burn through the harvests. Staple crops like wheat, corn, and olives die in the fields. This sudden drop in production creates immediate food shortages across the continent and drives up prices globally. Modern civilization relies entirely on the predictable, constant movement of the atmosphere. The Omega Block is a terrifying proof of how quickly our trade, our energy, and our food supplies collapse when the sky simply stops moving.